Before you finalize that ticket, before you set that roster, you need the edge. Welcome to the 1 hour window that separates the winners from the losers. We're diving deep into the spreads, the over-unders, the value plays, and the sleepers you must start. Stop guessing and start winning. This is the Gridiron Gurus, providing the ultimate NFL advantage exclusively on the Empty the Bench Network.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Gridiron Gurus, and this is going to be a fun show because there is a lot of fun things to talk about. But before we get into that, I want to remind you guys to follow us on YouTube at ETV Network and follow the show at TFD Forecast ETV. There's a lot of good stuff to talk about today, so why don't we get started with that. Starting off with a move that at least two of us here expected, and probably three, but two of us here are Bears fans. The Bears traded DJ Moore and a 2026 fifth-round pick to the Bills for a 2026 second round pick, which when everyone on the internet, or when I say the internet, I mean Twitter, started reacting to this trade, everyone was saying, oh, this is probably going to be like a fourth, a fifth, or something like that. And I'm commenting on what their posts say on Twitter, and I'm like saying, it's still being worked out what the trade is. So wait until, it's actually official to say what you think it is. And honestly, I will say, I was one of those people that thought this was at most a third. I didn't think it was going to be a second, but if I'm being honest, I really do like this trade. First of all, because, the Bears needed to unload that contract. And the thing that I didn't expect was that the Bills would take on the full contract, but they did. And, DJ goes from the Bears, who contended last year, to a team that might take a little bit of a step back because of their new head coach and Joe Brady. But it's important to mention that DJ Moore's best years were with Joe Brady as his offensive coordinator. So Joe Brady will know how to use him. And going from Caleb Williams to Josh Allen, I'm going to say it is a little bit of an upgrade. I love Caleb Williams, but I don't think he's at the level of Josh Allen quite yet. In a couple of years, sure. But I really like this trade. We freed up $16 million in cap space for him for the trade, and it made sense to unload that contract. So, Michael, since you're the other Bears fan here, why don't you go first on what your thoughts about this trade were, and then I'll ask Ben the same question.
Yeah. So I thought the Bills were the team to go after him. I've said this to you. I knew the Bills would be the team to go after DJ Moore. I also did not expect them to take on the full contract, which is great for us. We freed up what? $16 million, like you said.
Yep.
So the Bears have freed up around $40 million in cap spaces this offseason, which is great for us. It's great for us.
Oh,
yeah.
It's actually not that much because you have to factor in the $12 million for the draft class, so it's about $32 million.
Yeah, but still, that's still a lot of money we freed up. It sucks. Yeah, we traded DJ Moore, but we have Rome, we have Luther, we got Loveland, who came out as a rookie and played very good. So, and we still have Cole Kmet. So I think this is a good trade for both teams. Like, I do think the Bills might be a big. They're the favorite right now after that trade. They're the favorite to win the Super Bowl. So I know it
Really?
sucks. Yeah, they're the favorite by a lot
I
to
haven't
win the
seen
Super Bowl.
that, but
On DraftKings at least, they're the favorite right now.
Okay.
So,
Well, I don't bet,
and
so that's why I
they're the
haven't.
most bet team right now to win the Super Bowl. So, I mean, yeah, going from Caleb Williams, which we love Caleb Williams. I think he's the top 10 quarterback in the league. But you go to Josh Allen, who won an MVP. So that's an upgrade for DJ. DJ, I don't think he liked playing here personally. He was the guy that came out and said he wanted to play for Fields, not Caleb. So, I mean, it was something we all expected. I just didn't expect it to be right now. But it frees up a lot of money for us. We can make moves. We can improve the defense. And
I imagine that will be the focus starting tomorrow. I have followed people on Twitter and all that stuff, and they have said, don't expect any big splashes, which I am okay with, because we Ben Johnson and Ryan Poles have a philosophy of building through the draft, and I like that. I like that philosophy.
Yeah.
But I do expect tomorrow for the Bears to go after a couple of guys that fit Dennis Allen's scheme, whether that be players that have played with Dennis Allen before or just guys that fit his scheme. But I wouldn't expect.
I want to hear Ben's mind on this, because he is going to your division.
Yeah, so go ahead, Ben. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I was potentially expecting DJ Moore to get traded, but I'm kind of upset he went to the Bills, not of all teams.
Did you want him to go to the Patriots out of curiosity?
I was open to it, but I don't know. Just stay away from the AFC East. It really couldn't have mattered anywhere else. But in retrospect, I mean, the Bills.
Hey, that's how me and Michael felt when we saw Mike Parsons get traded to the Packers. So
no, that's fair. That's fair. I can't really say much. Mike could go into division rival foe. I mean, that's a little different. But DJ's a good player. But like you guys mentioned, the Bears have a nucleus of guys, and DJ. I said this to Grant last week, maybe. We were kind of just mentioning some teams that. For DJ, I think is a 1A 2 in terms of a receiver, and the Bears already have Rome Odunze, they got Cole Kmet, and also their backfield's nasty. I mean, you got DeAndre Swift, Caleb can use his arm, he uses his legs, he has guys around him, and DJ Moore can now go to the Bills, where they just don't have a lot of guys you can really bank on, wide receiver wise. I mean, they had to bring in. I want to say a washed-up Brandon Cooks, but Brandon Cooks is basically their best receiver. And the second
guy that only played I want to say 6 games for them. That's insane.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think it was a good move for both sides of things. I thought originally this was going to be a precursor for the Bears to get Max Crosby, but obviously that didn't happen. We're going to talk about
go into that next
a little bit, but. I think it was a win-win trade. I really do. I think that, Ryan Poles is somebody that is ready to go and, make these type of splashes. And, DJ, and this is not a knock on DJ, but I feel like he's very replaceable in terms of as a receiver.
And I would expect with the loss of DJ, I would expect the Bears to at least draft someone in the 4th or 5th round.
I was for me, and I don't think you guys are gonna like where I'm gonna go with this, but this is a guy that probably is gonna be not crazy expensive, that can maybe come in, be a receiver, has a little bit more speed left in the tank. You maybe be thinking where I'm thinking.
Don't say it. Please don't say it. Please
Deebo Samuel.
I love it.
Okay, that's not who I thought you were gonna say. Stephon Diggs. I
thought you were gonna say Wando.
Yeah. I don't know.
Deebo, we wouldn't have the money for Wando, man. We don't have the money.
Deebo, I think, is somebody that could come in. Ben Johnson's just a very good guy, offensive minded, and Deebo obviously played at his best years with Kyle Shanahan. So I'm just thinking of a guy, at least in free agency, that can be just, I wouldn't say replace all DJ Moore's production, but like,
similar.
That was just kind of like a guy, at least if you're thinking free agency. But I don't know if the Bears are going to go that route. I think they're going to kind of focus more on their money on defense. And then obviously load on the offense via the draft at this point. So that's what I would really think.
If I was a betting man tomorrow, I think the Bears are going to. I mean, we only have about $30 million to spend for free agency, so I'm going to say that we try to get like 3 guys in free agency. I do think one of them is going to be Taylor Decker. For a stopgap left tackle because Trapillo is going to be out most of the year or all of the year next year. So I do think that Taylor Decker being released from the Lions, he makes sense for Ben Johnson. He knows Ben Johnson's system. I don't think it would take too much convincing for him to come to the Bears. If you could get him for, maybe, 1 year for $12 to $14 million, I would sign that contract. And then the rest of the money should probably be around, for guys on the defense, whether that be linebacker, defensive line, maybe a safety. It'll be interesting because I really want Kevin Byard back, but we haven't we have until tomorrow to sign him to an extension, and we don't have. I haven't heard anything about them being in talks with them. But Poles is also a guy that likes to be quiet. So, but going into the next topic, this one hurt when it came out, but it also makes a ton of sense, and I love it for the team that traded him. The Raiders traded Max Crosby to the Ravens for 2026 and 2027 first round draft pick. It was said that the Bears were in on the sweepstakes for Max Crosby, and I do believe that they were. But Michael mentioned it before the show. The Ravens have pick 14. We have pick 25. So if we offered 2 first round draft picks for Max Crosby, as the Bears being at 25, hopefully we're in the same realm next year. Maybe a little bit sooner, maybe like 23 or something like that next year. Hopefully somewhere around there. But if we offered 25 a first next year, we probably still would have had to offer a second, this year to get Max Crosby, and that's just too much at that point. But I really like this for the Raiders because despite what everyone's saying, they're going to take Mendoza at 1. And with them having 14 now, you have the chance to get Mendoza, which is a lock at this point. But at 14, you have a chance to get him a weapon, a wide receiver. I don't know who
they could try to pair him with this guy from Indiana, Elijah Surratt. They really want to do that. My question for you for that is he really worth a first round draft pick? No, he's a little bit later on, like down, I'd say.
But if I were the Raiders, now I'm going to say this, I do think that this is a little bit of a stretch for 14, but if Carnell Tate is available at 14, turn that card in the minute you get on the clock. Ohio State is one of those universities that spits out.
Well, how about this, Grant? How about they wait it out and wait till Jeremiah Smith comes ready? How about that?
They might.
Well,
I wouldn't be surprised.
I'd rather, if I'm the Raiders, if you have a Kubiak system where Jeremiah Smith is arguably the best guy coming out for the following year, and you have some of the high first round picks, go for Jeremiah Smith. And this is not a knock on Carnell Tate. As an Ohio State fan myself, I think Carnell Tate's a phenomenal receiver. That's
a good point. The Raiders and the Now, I don't know how high the Ravens pick will be next year, but the Raiders,
They might
it'll
be.
still
They'll be
pretty
low.
Ravens usually
high.
never on top at all because they're always competing. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll make the playoffs. If Lamar's healthy, they'll make the playoffs. So
Yeah, but I mean, I really like this for the Raiders, and I like it for Max Crosby. I mean, now I am, nervous for someone that is a little bit injury prone in the Ravens division, and that's Joe Burrow, because he now has to deal with Max Crosby, T.J. Watt, and Myles Garrett twice a year. So that's 6 games out of your 17 games.
3 top 5 guys.
That sucks. And the Bengals, their Achilles heel is literally their offensive line. It's their offensive line. They have a terrible offensive line. If I look at Spot Track real quick.
So I just actually read, and we'll obviously we'll do some rumors, like NFL rumors stuff for some guys, because obviously we got the legal tampering period, everything starting tomorrow. So obviously people that are watching this show, this is the chaos before the actual physical chaos, which I think is going to be awesome.
Yes.
But one of the biggest guys out there in the market is center Tyler Linderbaum. And he's going to have a lot of suitors. And one of the suitors that Tyler Linderbaum is connected to, if the Ravens do move on from him, is the Raiders. And the Raiders need to really stock on the offensive line. And if you're the Raiders, really put a lot of money into Tyler Linderbaum, is arguably probably the best center in the league. You get Fernando Mendoza, and you have a guy like Brock Bowers, and you have some guys that you could draft from. I'm not saying this Raiders team is going to be a playoff team per se, because they're not. There's still a long ways to go. But I think they're going to be kind of starting to trend up the right direction, because they've just been in an absolute terrible direction for years.
So I just looked at I'm on Spot Track right now, and I just selected to manage the Bengals because I wanted to see how much cap space they have. They have about $47.5 million in cap space. So you have to allocate $12 million of that for the NFL draft. So they've got about $35 million. I would literally spend like 25 to 30 million of it on offensive linemen, because
easily
they are not. They have Joe Burrow, and his cap hit is
$60
million,
something
and
like that.
They literally do not do anything to protect him. It is
they have 100 million in 3 players.
Joe Burrow, T. Higgins, and Shamar Chase.
Yeah.
I mean, and you're dealing with probably the top 3 edge rushers in the NFL in Myles Garrett, T.J. Watt, and Max Crosby. And honestly, those 3 are interchangeable. It does not matter where you put them. They're all very similar in production. So I
mean, Burrow's facing 3 top 5 guys and for 2 games straight, or 2 games. So 6 of the games he's versing 3 of the top 5 guys. The other 2, obviously, pains me to say this, but it's Michael Parsons and Nick Bosa. Those are the other 2.
Well, it only pains you to say one of those,
just because he's on the Packers. But Joe Burrow. They need to go at. They're gonna have the Bengals are gonna have to go after O-line. So Joe Burrow.
Sean Slater, go for him from the Packers.
Slater, yeah.
Elijah Vera Tucker. If the Jets decide to move on from him, put him at the left hand side. Their blind side has been atrocious, and that's partly why Burrow's obviously had these injuries. People, of course, want to talk about, well, Joe Burrow keeps getting hurt. It's not because himself is putting himself in this situation. Look what's in front of him.
Yeah.
So
no, but I honestly would give this trade for Max Crosby and the Ravens and the Raiders. I think it's a win-win for both teams. I mean, you get 2 first-round draft picks for the next 2 years for the Raiders, and the Ravens get a great edge rusher. And not only that, Jesse Minter gets a cornerstone for his defense for the next
It's 3. He's still got 3 years on his deal.
Yep.
I mean, and honestly, there's a total, argument that you could say that after the 3 years for the rest of this contract is over, that Max Crosby signs back with the Ravens, depending on how the next 3 years goes. And I'm gonna say I really like Jesse Minter as the replacement for John Harbaugh. I think it's a great replacement.
Mm-hmm.
But going into the next topic, like Ben said, NFL free agency starts tomorrow. Now, it's important to mention, like what Ben just said, the legal tampering period begins tomorrow. What that means is teams can agree to deals with players starting tomorrow at 10 or 11 o'clock. Is it?
Yeah, it's like 11 to 12. I look at it at like noon, like my time.
Yeah, and I think it's 11 o'clock our time.
Yeah.
But what happens is teams and players can agree to terms on deals tomorrow and all the way to Wednesday, and even after that. But they don't become official until Wednesday at 4 o'clock, I believe, on Wednesday. But honestly, I will say this. I mean, I love the whole NFL season and everything, but this is my favorite time of the year because I love seeing who teams will sign and how they're improving their teams and all that stuff. And I love the draft period. I love the draft period, like because I will admit I am not that much of a college football watcher, but I do know the top guys. I know who Mendoza is. I know who Carnell Tate is. I know who
Caleb Downs.
Caleb Downs is. I know the big names.
Jeremiah Love.
Yeah, I tomorrow literally cannot come fast enough. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm literally. My Spanish class is canceled tomorrow, which is literally awesome because it's usually from 10 to 10:50, and I don't have to go tomorrow. So, which is awesome because literally, like when my Spanish class starts would be when the legal tampering period starts, and I would have to put my phone on do not disturb for an hour. When I would be like, I don't want to do that because tomorrow, literally all day, my TV will have NFL Network on, free agency frenzy, so I can know who signed where and everything like that. Because tomorrow is going to be just a huge day. I mean, Linderbaum is going to sign for mounds of money somewhere. Honestly, I'm going to throw this out there. I think the Raiders should do it. I mean, they have $130 million in cap space, and you need to get protection for your eventual quarterback, Fernando Mendoza. Why not get him the best center? You might want to try and throw your hat at some weapons. Whether that be probably the best position to target would be wide receiver because you have a phenomenal tight end. You have a phenomenal first running back in Ashton Genty. I would think that you would want to get some wide receivers. I don't think you're going to get Wan'Dale Robinson. I think the leading guy for that is the leading team for that is the Titans. I think I've read on Twitter that the Titans are the favorite or like the leading team for Wan'Dale Robinson. Let's see.
There's Trey Hendrickson.
Yeah,
I personally hope he goes to the Bears. That's just me being a Bears fan, and I want him there. But he might be a little too much for what we need.
I do think he's a little too much.
But
I got another post for Linderbaum actually. Is the Commanders because they just released their starting center, their long-term center, and Jay Daniels I think wants to have a better year and stay healthy this year. So yeah, go for Linderbaum. I think is going to look elsewhere. I'm not sure where.
I'm trying to let me look for the Commanders to see how much cap space they have.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll figure it out. If they want a guy, they're gonna figure it out.
Adam Peters.
Well, they have $83 million in cap space, so they're not hurting for money.
Nope.
But I mean, when you look at the Raiders, I want to actually get this number correct. They have
the most.
They have the most, but I want to know the actual number. They have $119.3 million to spend in free agency. I mean, they have some good players. Don't get me wrong, but like Geno Smith is not on the roster anymore, even though it says that he is.
So that frees up $8 million, and then they got $18 million in dead cap from that.
Yeah, but I mean, Geno Smith literally committed highway robbery for the Raiders last year. He played a year and signed like a 3-year, $100 million contract, and is going to get paid, the league minimum next year, and still make like $58 million from the Raiders. So he's going to make like $60 million next year, regardless of where he plays. And probably, if I'm a betting man, I think that he gets signed somewhere to literally be a backup. I don't think that he's a starter anymore. And honestly, the only reason that I think that he was the Raiders quarterback for last year was because Pete Carroll didn't want to break in a new quarterback. But going into the next and technically final topic, but me and Michael will figure out some other stuff to talk about while we're here for the last 20 minutes of the show, when Ben has to get out of here for work. But who will be big spenders? I mean, obviously, I do think that the Raiders are going to be one of those teams. I think the Titans will be big ones as well.
Watch out for the New York Giants, a team that I think with the new coach and John Harbaugh, I think he wants to bring some talent. I think they really lack some talent, especially they moved out. They're going to move on from Mondale. I think Kenneth Walker. We haven't really talked about Kenneth Walker today, but I do think that the Giants are going to be a big guy for Kenneth Walker and the Titans.
That'd be an interesting one.
So I think, Seattle is going to go through, I think, I'm not saying a little bit of a rebuild type of thing, because they're not. They're still the Super Bowl champs, this and that. But
yeah, they got
another piece that was big for them was Rashid Shaheed, and I think he's going to be gone.
Yeah, he's going to go somewhere.
Sounds like the Raiders because of his former Seattle guy, Kubiak, who's over there. So
yeah.
And then I just read too about Mike Evans, according to a lot of reports, and it sounds like he wants to test the market. So Mike,
I have a feeling though. I mean, if you want to talk about loyalty for a team, Mike Evans and the Buccaneers is just the perfect definition.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, he did this last time he was a free agent too,
which was 2 years ago, and literally signed a 2-year, $52 million deal. I would imagine that it's going to be a 1-year deal for him, maybe to come back. But I could totally see them, giving him like a 1-year, like $27 million deal or something like that because of what he is for the franchise. I mean, Baker Mayfield loves him. His teammates love him. I mean, he's just a stand-up guy. He's just that stand-up guy, and I mean, I wish I could just see like the whole cap space for the whole NFL on Spot Track right now, but I have to manage a team to see what their cap space is. Because I would love just a top 10 list of the most cap space. I don't know how to see that on Spot Track. I'm trying to see like what's going on.
I'm gonna try to get to my team now because I have to get out of here momentarily.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
So for the Pats, I think the biggest thing what we're going to look at, of course, is receiver. And, obviously today could be the day of A.J. Brown. I mean, A.J. Brown, I think, is the name that a lot of Pats fans want. Of course, we were looking at Crosby, but, of course, the first-round picks, of course, we're making it very unrealistic. But I do think if we miss out on AJ, Stephon Diggs got cut. He got released, which
it does not say that yet. Like he's still on spot track for some reason, but that is true. And it says right here you have about $40 million in cap space, which is a good amount of cap space.
Yeah, so I'm not surprised he got caught, but they need to have production out of it. Alec Pierce is the guy I really would love. Him and Drake, I think, would be awesome because Pierce is a downhill, deep threat type of guy. I just worry about the overpay with him. But if he's one of the best guys out there, go at it, go for him. I also saw Romeo Dobbs' name linked, Debo's name linked. But if Dobbs and Debo come in, make them as you need to get two guys. Get your one and get him. I love Kayshon Boutte a lot. I really do. But I think Boutte is a number 3 receiver. If you really want to make this on after the Super Bowl, get back and being contending because we have a very, very tough schedule this year. Also, want to take a look at linebacker. I think linebacker is somewhere to look at. Another name that I'm looking at, 2 names actually on the defensive end side of things. Packers Quay Walker, I think is one name I'm looking at. I think it would be awesome. And then Trey Hendrickson, I think, is another guy. I just don't know in terms of how many big names we're going to go for, but I do think we make a big splash somewhere. I just don't know where it's going to be, but I do think that this team realizes that they need to bring in talent, for them to keep on consistently being where they want to be. And I think that after being in the Super Bowl last year, I think it's making this team a destination for players to look at again. And Crosby was looking at the Pats. I think it was the Pats, the Bears, and the Ravens, and somewhere else. Maybe the
Dallas.
Ravens. So Dallas, yeah. So, but we will see what happens tomorrow. We will see if anything happens today. Just hopefully, when I'm at work, I'm not freaking out that AJ is on my team, or else I might be in big trouble. But we'll see what happens. We'll see.
Yeah, I found out that DJ was traded right when I got to class on Tuesday. On Tuesday, right? That was Tuesday. I think that was Tuesday.
Yeah, those were the days.
And I'm texting everyone in a Bears group chat that I have on Twitter. And there's like 120 people in there. Everyone. Is thanking DJ, all that stuff. I'm trying to not have my phone buzz, while I'm in class. So I have my phone on do not disturb. So by the time my class is over, which is an hour and 20-minute class, I have 150 messages in my group chat. I'm like, oh guys, there are some people in here that are, students and need to be quiet. But I mean, when it happened, I was like, okay, I'm happy for DJ. He goes to a team that is gonna eventually be great. I mean, they are keeping most of their
core intact.
Most of their core, but I do think that even though Joe Brady has been there is going to be a little bit of an adjustment because it's new personnel with the coaching staff and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't think that it's going to be that. I mean, how many wins did the Bills have last year?
11.
You know what? I think they could get 9 or 10 with Joe Brady. I think they could get 9 or 10 with Joe.
I think they get 12 to 13. You still have Josh Allen.
That's true. And I'm happy for DJ. He goes to a good place. But me and Michael are going to be here for another 20 minutes.
I'll just really quickly will say, I want to thank you two for obviously having me on as usual. And yeah, it's gonna be a busy time, but also a great time in the next couple of days. And we'll see how our teams do, how they fare out in the next couple of days. Obviously, we'll talk about that next week. For myself personally, I will be on the ETB Lounge 2 nights with Nick DiMartino and others from 9 p.m. Eastern Time to 11 p.m. Eastern Time. We hope to see you guys there. It's a lot of fun. Just come hang out. We'll talk about different stuff around sports, and we will see you guys then. But for Mike and Grant, you guys, best of luck the rest of the way, and I'll see you guys next time.
See ya. Have a good day, man. Have a good day. So, Michael, since it's just you and me, I think this is a good opportunity for us to just talk about the Bears a little bit.
Do we have one more banner, and then we could talk about the Bears? Do we have more?
I mean, it's
What do we got?
It's nothing. This is the last one.
This is it. All right, yeah. Let's get into it.
So let me. I should have mentioned this when Ben was on here because we sadly lost Drew Dahlman to retirement a couple days ago.
Which have we found out what he retired from?
No, but everyone is speculating that he was playing through injury at the end of the year.
I want to say it has to be like a health reason that's not an injury. Like it's something like major that hasn't come out yet, because you don't retire at 27 unless it's something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like most of the time, if it's injuries, they'll retire at like 30. So we still have like 3 more years with him. But no, that was one of the biggest like what kind of thing that happened.
No,
like the DJ Moore trade was fine, but like that was like what? Like why?
When I saw Dahlman retire, I'm like, please be a parody account. Please be a parody account. Like not true. Like someone making up shit. Because the Bears have been looking for a center for so long. Last year, we finally find it. And I will admit this. At the end of the season, he didn't play that great, but he was still one of the smart guys on the offensive line.
Yeah.
But anyway, what I was going to say was we traded a 5th-round pick from next year, 2027, for Garrett Bradbury. And the reason that I should have mentioned it when Ben was here was because last year he was on the Patriots. And, I thought that, Ben would have a little bit of say, something to say about it. But, Jared Wilson will probably slide over to center for them, and it's going to be fine. Everyone, when we traded for Garrett Bradbury was like, oh, this sucks. And it does suck to go from Drew Dahlman to Garrett Bradbury. But
you go from someone who was, I think, PF grade 4, I think he was 4 or 5, to Bradbury was 30.
It does suck, but here's the thing about Bradbury. First of all, played 1,000 snaps, no sacks, no penalties.
Yeah, that's great.
So that's great. And another thing that I didn't know until the trade happened was Bradbury and Joe Thuney played together in college. It was only a year because Bradbury came in as a freshman to NC State when Joe Thuney was a junior or senior or whatever.
I think he was a senior. I think he played all 4.
But so Thuney will be able to help Bradbury get used to the system faster. And look, I was one of those people that was in on the Bears trying to get Linderbaum or Connor McGovern from the Bills, who went back to the Bills yesterday on a 4-year, $52 million deal, which good for him. But I'm sorry, I don't want to spend $25 million a year and $100 million on a center. I mean, we don't have the money for that. It's not possible.
With the needs that we need, we can't spend half of our, or more than half that we have on a center. As much as I love upgrading the offensive line for Caleb, we can't do that.
So here's what I believe that the Bears are going to do tomorrow. I mean, I think we only have enough money to probably get 1 or 2 free agents. Maybe three. But I would imagine that they want to get a linebacker, a interior defensive lineman, and Taylor Decker. And I say Taylor Decker because of the fact that he was released from the Lions a couple days ago, and we don't have Otzi Pillow for next year. If you sign Taylor Decker for, 1 year, maybe $10 to $12 million, you get a serviceable stopgap left tackle that knows Ben Johnson's system, likes Ben Johnson, and will play his heart out for him. So if our offensive line is consistent of Taylor Decker, Joe Thuney, Garrett Bradbury, Jonah Jackson, and Darnell Wright, we're going to be in tip-top shape. We're going to be fine. And I mean, now with Garrett Bradbury, he is only on a 1 year deal because last year he signed a 2-year, $10 million deal with the Patriots. So I do imagine that one of our draft picks will be a center. And I would circle, probably the 3rd round draft pick would be a center, maybe
or
the second,
our late second.
Our second, which is 60. Our first is at 57, so they're not really that far apart. But I mean, I'm looking at Spot Track to manage the Bears. I mean, we've got $24.3 million, in cap space. That's not a lot of money. I mean, I can hypothetically sign free agents, to extensions or around the league, but I've never done that. So I mean, I would probably try to sign Kevin Byard to, I don't know.
I would see what Kevin Byard wants personally. If he wants 8 to 10 mil, I don't know. I'd do 8. I don't think I'd do 10 mil a year just because he's only going to be in the league for another two, maybe 3 years.
Yeah, I mean, here's the problem. So when we signed him 2 years ago, he signed a 2-year, $7.5 million or $15 million deal. That comes out to $7.5 million each year.
I would do it again.
I think he wants more than that. I mean, he had a great year last year. I mean,
if he wants 2 years, 18 million, do it. If it's in the 20, if he wants 2 years for in the 20s, that's not 20 mil. I'd do 20 mil max. 2 years, 20 mil, 10 mil a year. If he wants something over that, I wouldn't do it.
I think so. It came out that Jeremy Fowler or whatever his name is for the NFL Network or something. He said that he said that the Bears are going to attempt to re-sign Byard this weekend and let Jaquan Brisker walk, which makes sense because I just think that Brisker will want a 4-year deal for something like $48 million or something like that. I think that's a little too much. But if you can't get him over the weekend, let him gauge his market, and see what other teams would give him, and maybe say maybe if someone will give him a 2-year deal for 17 or $18 million, give the Bears a chance to match it or improve on the offer a little bit, get him back here. Because I like him. I really do like him. And he was one of the, veteran vocal leaders of the defense, which, we didn't have many of those last year. So, I don't know if he's going to come back, but I mean, everyone's talking about how we could restructure and have a little bit more money. Here's the thing, though. Ryan Poles doesn't do that a lot. He hasn't done that a lot. I mean, last year he did it for, I think, Jalen Johnson, and it only gave us like $6 or $7 million more. I don't think that I don't think there's going to be a lot of restructures out there. But I don't know who would be a good safety, replacement for him. I mean, what I think the Bears should do, I think the Bears should, try and get Taylor Decker for a decent price. And I mean, with him being released from the Lions, I think he only wants to play one more year. So that's not that. So, I mean, if you could get him for 10 to 12, I'd do that.
So you want to know who like my kind of sleeper is for the Bears?
Shoot, who is it?
Cam Jordan.
I have heard he is on the list of people.
Just because he played with Dennis Allen and with the Saints.
Mm-hmm.
And then another sleeper, like I don't think we're gonna go for a corner, but Lattimore. I don't think we're gonna go for a corner, but in case
I have a rebuttal for your answer. My corner that we would go after, it's not Lattimore, it's Alontae Taylor.
That too, yeah.
Because we did try to trade for him last season, or well, actually, yeah, starting tomorrow, last season. But I mean, with our limited amount of money, it's very hard to imagine us, signing many guys to, 3-year deals or more than that.
I think we're gonna Cam Jordan would be perfect a year, and then he probably retires. Like we signed him for a year, you got him for a year.
I agree with you on that.
And then he played with Dennis Allen. He knows the system. He knows what to do in that system because he's played with him for what? I think it was like 3 years with the Saints. Yeah. He's played, or 5 years it might have been, but he's played with him. So he knows the system. That's what I'm thinking with Lattimore too. Like you just know, like you get guys that know Dennis Allen's system. So
and I do think that that's what they're going to do because of the fact that last year when the Bears, got Ben Johnson, they focused on the offense.
Yeah.
And I mean, their defense was, I'm going to use the word serviceable. I don't know.
It was just serviceable. It was serviceable enough for us to win. And
the reason that it was that they only did serviceable was because Ben Johnson knew that Caleb Williams was in his second year of the NFL, and you usually can tell if a quarterback is going to be successful by his second or third year. And I'm going to say it. Yeah, yes, Caleb did not get to 4,000 yards. However, I will admit he was one or two big throws away from 4,000. Caleb Williams is going to be the quarterback of the future. It's just the matter of surrounding him with the talent that we need to reach the Super Bowl before his rookie contract is over. Because once you get out of that rookie contract window for a quarterback, it is very hard to improve your team in free agency and all that stuff because because I would say 60% of your cap space goes to your quarterback.
Yeah. Now, I hate to say this, but I don't think Caleb's that guy that will take like a pay cut to stay with us. I feel like he's gonna stay with us, but I don't think he'll take that pay cut that like Brady did all his career. You know?
Well, also Brady was in the era of football where quarterbacks didn't get an absurd amount of money. I mean,
Yeah, but he got Brady's most he got a year is 25 mil.
mhm.
And he played in the 2020s and he played in end of 2010s. Like he played when quarterbacks were getting the paycheck and he won Super Bowls. Like I think that's what Caleb's got to do. Like not 20 million, but like a $40 million deal would be a friendly deal for the team if he does do that. But I have a feeling it's going to be like a T-Law Burrow situation where they just say, here, write what you want.
What do you want? And we'll give it to you. Yeah. You're probably right. So the window for the Super Bowl is what, the next 2 years?
Yeah, we got Caleb. We have to sign him after not next year, but after the 2028, I think we got to sign him.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be, I mean, next year we'll have a good amount of cap space, but that's because next year we can offload contracts like Grady Jarrett, Dio Adiingbo, which
Terrible signing.
those two are the contracts that are holding us back right now. If we didn't sign them to those last year, we'd have a good amount of money right now.
I still don't think Grady Jarrett was a bad signing. It was the Dio. That was the one I was like,
I don't think Grady was as bad as people think, because at the end of the year he did kind of get into that groove. But seriously, like Dio made no sense to me when we signed him. I was like, what? Who is this? Yeah. I mean, you and me were both like that. I mean, I
texted you. I was like, what?
I mean, I liked it in the moment because we needed defensive help, but I was like, what the, like, aside from the first game of the season where he got a sack on, J.J. McCarthy, and that honestly, that was a lucky sack also. I mean, I was like, what the hell did we sign this guy for? He played, 8 games before he tore his ACL or whatever, injury he has. Achilles, I think. I always think that ACL and Achilles are the same thing. I'm bad
both leg injuries.
But I mean, I would imagine that the Bears' first 3 picks are, no. I would imagine.
I guarantee you, it's best player available, not best fit.
And I would imagine that they will look. I will say this: we have how many picks?
Like 7? if there's a wide receiver at pick 25, they're going to take him. If he's the best player available on their board, they're taking.
I honestly, I wonder who that would be.
Like say Tate falls. Like I'm just going to put out a wide receiver I know. Say Cardinal Tate falls. I don't think he's going to, but say he does. Say he does. We get him. It's like the Jefferson stuff all over again in 2020.
Sure.
Jefferson just fell. Like just say that. Let's just say that is boom. You take him.
I don't think Jefferson fell. I think the Eagles screwed up with Jalen Reagor.
But it was just like a thing. Like he fell, or even last year, Luther Burden falling.
Yeah.
Going into the college season, he was a top 5 pick.
Yeah, he was a top. I actually remember doing a mock draft for and then there was like an option where you could see like the next year, like the top 5 for the next year. I think Luther Burden was number 3.
Yeah.
And literally when we were on the clock at 39, I saw Antoine Randall L hogging Ryan Poles and Ben Johnson. I literally mouthed Luther Burden. and said it before his card was turned in. I'm like, and when I saw Luther Burden, I'm like, holy shit, I just guessed who we drafted. And I mean, it was something. I mean, it was great. It was great. I mean, I think the Bears could take, a wide receiver eventually throughout the draft. I don't know if I will admit, I don't think it's going to be Cardinal Tate.
No, I don't think he's going to fall, but like, I'm just saying the name. I was just saying the name.
Yeah. I mean, I watched most of the combine. Who was a guy that had like really good speed?
See, here's my thing about speed. It's not all speed. Like, because if you think about it, what did JSN run?
Oh god,
4.5.
He ran a 4.5.
Yeah. What did Puka run?
He ran a 4.5.
4.5. Devontae Adams. 4.6. 4.6. Speed is not the main thing.
Cardinal Tate did run a 4.54.
So Cardinal Tate's going to be a dog. That's what I'm saying.
But also here's the thing. Even though the TV said he ran a 4.54, I saw things on Twitter that said like scouts had him at like a 4.4, like a mid 4.4, something like that. But like there has also been 40-yard dashes where the clock doesn't stop until after the player is well across the 40-yard line. Like I mean, and I'm like, he should have ran like a 4.3. Like I don't know. I mean,
it's just my thing with like wide receivers and speed have changed dramatically over the last year, just because I don't think it matters as much as like the other. What's the drill? It's like they do the 2 catches. Drill. Yeah, that too. They do the 2 catches and then they catch, and then run. That's the best drill. I love that one.
I don't know what that drill is called. I know
Rome had the best in 2024. Rome had the best one there, and I love Rome.
And that was the drill that he literally stayed on the field on for after everyone left, right?
Yeah. Yep.
I don't remember what that drill was, but I remember watching.
I forget what it's called, but that's the best. I love that drill for wide receivers.
Yeah. No. I mean this free agency for the Bears is not going to be, huge like last week or last year. I would imagine that we maybe get, 2 signings. Well, technically 3 because of Garrett Bradbury. He'll come in on Wednesday and sign his contract and it'll be official. But I would imagine that most of the big moves are through the draft. And I'm okay with that, because the best teams do build through the draft. I mean, you look at the Eagles. Look at the Eagles. I mean, they get top end players every year at 28 because
I hate to switch the like sport, but the NBA, the Thunder, build through the draft. That's what teams do. Teams build through the draft. And I have a feeling that's what we're gonna do. That's why we didn't trade 2 firsts and a second for Max Crosby. As much as I would do it in a heartbeat, don't get me wrong.
Everyone on the Bears would have done it, but
exactly. But it's smarter.
It's the best. The long term, successful GMs are the smart ones. I mean, Howie Roseman, John Lynch, eventually Ryan Poles. I do believe that.
I mean, the Chiefs built through the draft, if you think about it.
Yes, the Chiefs. Thank you, Brett Beach. I didn't think of what his name was until you said it.
Yeah.
But I mean, we might have because I believe we have 7 draft picks right now, and we might even get an 8th because apparently people that report on the Bears do believe that we will get compensated for the Ian Cunningham hire. It's
Which
now we won't know until the end of this upcoming week, probably. So Friday or Saturday or something like that, which starts my spring break. And if I can get a notification that says the Bears will get two third round draft picks in the next
just
2
one.
years,
I just want one.
just give us something. I mean, Ryan Poles believes that we should. Ian Cunningham believes that we should. And what is also complete bullshit is, Matt Ryan has come on podcasts for people, and shows, and literally said that Ian Cunningham will lead the free agency, lead all the draft stuff. So that means that he is the lead decision maker. That means that he, even though, what's his name? Matt Ryan is the president of football operations. The president of football operations is the secondary decision maker. So give us our picks, man. I mean, if you're not going to give us our picks, people are just going to start doing what the Falcons did and create a president of football operations, title for an old football player that used to play for the team that is hiring a new GM, and then they're like, okay, well, this team doesn't have to give up this draft pick anymore, for since they have a president of football operations. I mean, imagine if the Saints did that for Drew Brees. I mean, and I'm sorry that I literally mentioned the Saints, but literally, Drew Brees is one of those people that immediately comes to my head that would probably do a good job at that, because he just knows football. I mean, it's going to be interesting because the Falcons, they don't have a first round draft pick because of the James Pierce trade, which also is not starting to look like a great trade for them because of the fact that he got arrested.
Well, yeah, he's an idiot, but I think we are over our time.
We are, but not by much, but we're over. So hopefully, all 122 people watching, which is, I want to say, a record. Thank you for watching. And me and Michael will be back on our channel, the Bear Claw Cast, tomorrow night from 5 to 7 to go over all of the moves that were made tomorrow. And also probably mention a little bit about what happened this weekend and in the past for this. But if you guys want to check that out, check out the Bear Claw Cast.
It won't just mainly be about the Bears. It'll be about every team.
It'll be about everyone. And, there are going to be some big signings tomorrow. I mean, it'll be interesting to see where Wan'Dale Robinson goes. I imagine
Trey Hendrickson goes, where Cam Jordan goes, where all these guys go, if Mike Evans leaves.
I would admit, I would like it if Jordan, it sent out one of those "It's Chicago" tweets, after he signed with Chicago, because someone's got to carry on that Tremaine Edmonds tradition, and I do believe that. I think that's what they'll do. But that's it for us today. We'll see you guys tomorrow at 5 on our channel, and it's going to be a fun one. Because this is the funnest time of the year for football fans. Trust me. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and see you tomorrow.